Okay, so this is our third session today. Yesterday we have discussed how to create EC2 instance using graphical management console, or you can say Amazon management console. We discussed what are the main components of EC2 service, and we discussed what is Amazon CLI, how to install CLI. After that, I have demonstrated you how you can download your Amazon CLI credentials, how you can configure those credentials onto your local machine, from where you can manage your Amazon services. And today we are going to discuss Amazon services using command line. This was of yesterday's presentation which we discussed, and today we are going to discuss how we can create Amazon EC2 Linux instance using CLI. So what are the prerequisites? First one, Amazon CLI, and then Boto. Boto is basically Python interface for Amazon API communication. Then we need AWS access configured and one security group configured or created. Then we can use our own SSH keys on Amazon. I'm repeating, we can use our own keys at Amazon, or yesterday we have downloaded one key from Amazon, we can utilize that key. Then before launching our first instance, we have to check whether we are able to communicate with Amazon or not using command line. That's the first thing which we have to do. And to launch an instance, AWS is the CLI command, EC2 is the service. Like we are going to communicate with EC2 service. Run dash instances, it means we are going to build new instance. This is dash dash, due to some reason it is looking as single dash, but this is dash dash, 2 dash. Dash dash image ID, AMI ID. Here we are saying this template to be used. Dash dash count. Count mean how many servers we want to build. You can put 1, you can put 2, you can put 3, depending upon your requirement. After that, instance type. Instance type mean which type of instance you want, because they in Amazon, as I mentioned yesterday, there are multiple type of instance compute combinations, so you can choose appropriate instance type as per your requirement. Then key name. Key name is basically that's a key which is your SSH key. Then user data. User data, as I mentioned yesterday, if you want something to be executed when your instance boots, then you can put that in user data file and it will automatically get executed. Then subnet ID. Subnet ID mean in which availability zone you want to put your new server. I'm in Sydney region, but Amazon give me liberty to choose, okay, there are 3 availability zone. You want to put your instance in 2A, 2B or 2C, that's up to you. Then security group. Security group, as I mentioned yesterday, is basically a firewall group, and you can create custom security groups, like which ports are allowed or which ports are not allowed. The next thing which I have mentioned, how you can check console of your server, because Amazon is not like VMware. In VMware you can open console, you can type anything in console, but in Amazon you can only see whatever logs or whatever displayed on console. You cannot type commands in console, so that's Amazon limitation. So but you can see what is happening in the console using this particular command. Then to connect your instance, SSH EC2 user, then your instance IP, which is basically public IP. So this is something we are going to do today. And let me open putty session where we can do the things. So this server is my Amazon CLI server, where we configured Amazon CLI credentials yesterday. So first thing, let's verify we are able to communicate with Amazon or not. So this is something, yeah, this is my local machine, and from here I'm just checking my Amazon connectivity. If you see this command reverted information about region, it means I am able to communicate with Amazon using my credentials and Amazon CLI. just displayed you like there is one server already created in Amazon that is in stopped state. Stopped mean that is in power off state. So how I can check about that server? What is the status of that server? So I can run command AWS. AWS is the command. EC2. EC2 is the service name. Uh, can you put your mic on mute if you're not speaking? Okay, so AWS is the command. So how CLI works, you have to understand the formatting of Amazon CLI. So AWS is the command, EC2 is the service now. I'm repeating, AWS is the main command, EC2 is the service. Now with EC2 service, what we want to do under EC2 service? So I want to describe instances. So EC2 describe instances. Describe instances mean it will tell me what are the instances in EC2 service as of now, and you can do like this dash dash output text or table. Okay, I will discuss this thing in 2 minutes. So let's take output in table. So this command will check on Amazon what are the instances created on Amazon side. So this command finished. So let's quickly check what information is displayed. Okay, from here it is starting. It is saying this is the owner ID. Owner ID means this is our account number, means my account number with Amazon. This is my reservation ID with Amazon. Then architecture of my server is 64-bit. This is the token. EBS optimize is set to false. What is the hypervisor I'm using? I'm using Zen hypervisor. What is the image ID? This is the image ID. What is my instance ID? This is my instance ID. What is my instance type? This is my instance type. Which key pair I'm using? I'm using this particular key pair. Then it is asking, telling me what time this instance was launched. This time. What is the private DNS name? What's the private IP? Which one is the root device? This one is the root device. What is the root device type? It's EBS. Then it is telling status transaction region. Like right now server is power off. Why it is power off? Because user initiated. State transition region. So this tells subnet ID. This is the subnet ID. This is the virtualization type. This is the VPC. And here everything in detail. Like this is block device mapping. This is dev SDA, this is EBS, it is attached. I will give more detail when I am discussing EBS. So this is for basic. This is the second disk which is attached to server. Monitoring is disabled because Amazon is charging monitoring separately, so I am not using Amazon monitoring. This is detail about network interface. Okay, this is the MAC ID, this is the interface ID, this is the owner, this is the our private DNS, this is the private IP, IP which is configured inside the instance. Public IP is different. With public IP we are accessing our instance. Then it is telling the status of network card. This is the group, basically security group. Security group mean we have allowed port 80 and port putty like SSH access on this one. Then this is again private address information. Then this is in availability zone 2A. Okay, here it is displayed. This server is in availability zone 2A. Again security group. Right now what is the state? Stopped. Code is port 80. So because every state got different code, so code 80 is for stopped state. Why instances stop state? Because user initiated shutdown, high powered of that instance. And these are the tags. So Raghavendra, a couple of minutes back I was displaying you, right? What are the tags? So these are the tags which, like in this way, they will get displayed. So this is something how you can check your existing instances. So now let's create one new instance. To create one new instance, we can run command AWS EC2 run dash instances dash dash image ID, which image I want to use. Here I am giving my image ID. I am using same image which is here, like same Red Hat image. Sorry. I'm going to use same image ID. If you see, this is image ID, I'm using same image ID. After that, I'm telling how many servers I want to build. Count is equal to, not equal to, count space 1. I am saying I want to create one server. Then I have to say instance type. So I'm going with same instance type because that is cheapest one. I'm getting all the specifications from my previous instance. So I'm saying instance type is T2 micro, and next thing I have to say my security group. I'm typing, giving my security group ID. Here my security group ID is this one, group ID. Then I am telling subnet, in which subnet I want to create it. I'm going to create it in same subnet, which is in availability zone 2A. So here I will get my subnet ID from here. This is my subnet ID, this one. If you see, subnet ID. Next thing which I have to mention, region. Region is AP Southeast 2. This is my region. So let me repeat the things which I have just typed. AWS EC2. AWS is AWS CLI command. EC2 is the service name. Under EC2 service, I am running command run instances. Run instances mean create new instances. Then dash dash image ID. Image ID basically which image I am going to use. Image is like a template which I described yesterday. So I am saying this particular image ID. Count is how many servers I want to build. I am saying 1. Then instance type. Which type of instance I want to create? I am saying T2 micro because that's the cheapest one, but again depending upon your requirement you can choose appropriate instance type. Then security group. Security group, which security group I want to use. So I'm using same security group which I created yesterday. What it means, if you have a security group you can use it multiple times, so there is no limit. Security group is just a firewall template which is configured like only these particular servers can access my server on these particular ports. So that's a firewall kind of thing at Amazon end. I'm saying this security group, then dash dash subnet ID. Subnet ID mean in which subnet I want to put this server. So I'm using subnet ID of 2A availability zone. Then which region? AP Southeast 2. So this command is done. Let me press enter and let's see what happens. Okay, if you see our instance built started basically. So this is the output which we got from Amazon. For a instance, its instance ID is unique identifier. If you see, when this command finished, it gave me output. So instance state is pending. As I discussed yesterday, whenever your instance is powering on, its state is pending. When it's completely powered on, state is running. So now it means it is powering on now. If you see, state is pending, so it means it may be getting built or getting powered on. So this is the unique identifier, instance ID. This is instance ID for my new instance. So now our server is created. So let's verify what is the status of this server. How to check status? AWS EC2 describe instance status dash dash instance ID. Okay, if you see, this is the status for new instance which I just built. It is saying state code now 16, which means instance is running. Right now instance is running. In which availability zone? 2A. Status initializing, it means it is getting initialized. Then it is saying it's reachable. My instance is reachable. So now I know, okay, my instance is getting built. So now to connect to this instance, I need SSH keys, as I discussed yesterday. I have already downloaded keys for the instance which I created yesterday. So I'm going to use same SSH keys. But before that, I need to know what is the public IP of my instance. So let's check what is the public IP. To check public IP, again, AWS EC2 describe instances dash dash. Here if I do like and press enter here, AWS EC2 describe instances, it will give me detail for my two instances now, because one instance was already existing, second instance I just created. But I want information about my new instance only. I don't want to have see old instance information. Then you can do like this, dash dash instance ID and your instance ID. Press enter. So if you see the output by default is in JSON format. This is in JSON format. If it looks easy to you to read, then we can go with JSON. If like you feel this output is a bit dodgy, like you cannot understand, in same command you can say dash dash output in your required way. You can put text, so it will give you output in text format. If you see, this is text, normal text. If this looks easy, if this still not looks easy, then you can use output type table. So there are three possible types of output. One is JSON, which is default. Second is text which is displayed on screen. Third is table, like if you want in table format. So only choosing appropriate output type will give you information. If you see, this is the information and this is the public IP of instance. So let's try to connect to this instance. To connect to instance, as I mentioned, default user is EC2-user, which is by default created. So SSH EC2-user at this particular public IP, and with I am saying this is my what was the PEM file name? Just let me check, star PEM. Okay, this is my PEM file, which is my basically SSH key file. So let me quickly connect to the server now. SSH EC2 user minus I mean identity file. I'm saying this is my identity file which need to be used. Pressing enter here. Okay, now it is giving us error like permission denied. It means something wrong with this PEM file. Let's retry. So something broken here. Let's check what is broken, because if you cannot log into your instance, like it's not usable. But I'm getting error. It means my instance may be still in build state. So let's verify quickly what is the state of my instance. It is running, but why we are not able to connect then if it is running? Let's check again. It is saying permission denied. IP is right. So how we can check what is the issue? because I have not enabled what we call ping. That's the reason I'm not able to ping, but definitely something wrong with this instance. We are not able to ping the instance. Let's try SSH again to see what is happening. Okay, so it means something broken, friends. Let's quickly check the graphical console. Let me refresh here. So my second instance will get displayed here. To check console messages of instance, select instance which you want to check. I have selected. If you see, there is blue mark here, then click on actions. Then click on instance settings. Then click on get system logs. So this will give you console logs basically. If you see, these are the messages on console. Let's see what happened, in which state instances, why we are not able to connect. We cannot do much troubleshooting, but if you see, the instance is up. This is the banner, login banner. So there may be something broken, but not an issue. We can debug why it is not connecting. Let me try again. It is saying permission denied. So let me try again with PEM file now. Let's do in verbose mode and see what is happening. No more authentication methods to try. SSH fetch identity is known and matches RSA. Let's try locally, first locally from here. I believe there is some issue with the SSH authentication. What we can try, let me copy this command. Let's try to connect from here and see what's happened. Okay, if you see something wrong with my machine, but it is giving error. Let me retry. Okay, so let me copy my PEM file here. So I'm just copying my PEM file to get myself clear. Issue is not with PEM file. So I have copied PEM file in root. So here I'm saying -i root / AWS keyfile.pem. So something is bad with my PEM file. That's the reason I'm not able to connect. So that's something wrong happened, and let's figure out what happened wrong. Let me check my command with which we have built our server. So here security group. Okay, you can, I'm just unmuting your phone. You can figure out what is wrong. I know what is wrong now because I did one mistake, but I know mistake, so I'm just unmuting. Then you can tell me what is my mistake here. Can you unmute yourself and tell me? Raghav, can you tell me what? No, security group is okay. I have missed something. Can you figure out what I have missed? Raghav, can you figure out? Okay, so what I missed basically, right now I'm trying to connect to my instance using PEM file, but I have not told while creating instance this need to be my key file. You got my point? Let me terminate my instance and we will build a new server. I'm just terminating. How to terminate your instance? Select your instance, click on action. Click on action and instance state, terminate. Terminate means decommission. So my server will get decommissioned now. The server which we just created, because that server is not useful, right? Because that is we are not able to SSH, and there is no way on Amazon to fix the issues if something bad happens. So I'm going to use my key pair now. Let me tell you how we can use key pair. Here if you see, I have missed to specify key name. If you see this particular thing, so now I will specify my key name. Same command I am saying with dash dash key dash name. This is my key name. Okay, sorry, again I copied it incorrect. Let me check again, because Amazon will build the server. Key name is AWS lab key pair. Let me copy it. From here I think I cannot copy, but that's not a big thing. I can type it. AWS lab key pair. Here. So this is my key pair name on Amazon side. Pressing enter. So now it will give me new instance ID. Instance ID is always unique. Instance ID is always unique. Okay, so let's check what is the new instance ID. Raghav, one thing I want to tell, if you see right now, it has not given public IP. Why? Because right now instance is getting created. Once instance is created, then it will give public IP. So this is our instance ID. Let's check what's its public IP now. So AWS EC2 describe instances dash dash instance ID and instance ID, and let's take output in text format. To me, like JSON is best, but for you initially, like you will like text format, because everything is displayed here. And let's see what is the public IP. If you see, public IP is displayed here. This is public DNS, and public IP is this one. So let's try to connect to this public IP now. Again, I'm typing my PEM file, because that's something which is needed to connect. I'm saying my PEM file is this one. Pressing enter. Let's see. Yes. See, we logged on to our EC2 instance, our new server. Because in previous command, only mistake I made, I have not told this is my PEM file or identity file. Because Amazon will consider, okay, Amazon is not aware, Amazon will create some new file which I am not aware. So to make combination, I need to specify my PEM file. So let me share command quickly with you, with which we created our instance. I will share that in 2 minutes. So now we have logged on to our instance. Okay, and to become root, sudo su dash, and if you see, we are on our Amazon server now. So that's a way you can quickly create server. This is on Amazon's. This server is now Amazon server, and this is the way like we connected to our EC2 instance. I'm quitting from here. I'm just going to my original server. I'm on my original server now. So let me give you command which we used. So Raghav, now you can ask your questions, your doubts. Sorry, what's your question? Yeah, that's a Python. All the AWS CLI commands are written in Python. That's a Python package. And when communicating with Amazon, Amazon API, it use Boto, B-O-T-O. Boto is a package which is used for communication. That package is written in Python. So tell me what doubts you have, Raghav. I will explain those in detail. So can I ask couple of questions if you have no doubt? Okay, tell me what is security group? Okay. So what is subnet? Okay. So tell me what do you mean by key name? Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So if I make this count to 10, what it mean? The count is currently 1. If I make it 10, what will happen? Yeah, yeah, that's good. What do you mean by image ID? Okay. So what is AMI ID? AMI ID is basically a template which got your custom, yeah, Amazon machine image. That is basically a template which got your custom operating system and application or database installed. If yeah. So now you know like how to create instance, right? Using command line. Uh, No, there are no, no, no. So you are in doubt. You are in doubt. Let me clear your doubt. On this console, if I click launch instances, if you see these information, this is Amazon Linux. Image ID is this one. If you see, this is image ID. For Red Hat, this is the image ID. For SUSE Linux, this is the image ID. For Ubuntu, what do you mean by common for everyone? Yeah, yeah. So these instance IDs are worldwide. Yeah, they are available to everyone. If you got your custom AMIs, let's say you created your AMI, which you want to keep only with your company, that will be not available to everyone. But these AMIs, these are for public. These are vendor provided AMI IDs. So let me quickly tell you about AMI IDs. I am copying this AMI ID, okay? And if you want to know like what this AMI ID, so you can run command AWS EC2 describe images, because that's image dash dash image dash ID, and then your AMI ID. Press enter. Let's see what is the output. If you see, this is the complete output about AMI. This AMI is HVM. HVM mean hardware virtualization. Name is rel3 HVM GA. This one, this. Hypervisor is yen. SRIO net support is simple. This is the image ID. State is available. When you use this AMI ID, it will create one disk of /dev SDA1 name, size with 10 GB, volume type would be GP2. Then what is the architecture of this AMI? 64-bit. What's the root device type? This one. Who is the owner? This thing. What is the root device? This one. When this AMI was created? This time. Image type, that's a machine image. Description provided by Red Hat. So this AMI was created by Red Hat. So in that way, for any AMI you can get the information using command line. If you have AMI ID, let's say you don't have AMI ID and you want to see how many AMIs are available on Amazon. Huh? So you can do like this: AWS EC2 describe images, but it will list man thousand of AMIs, because in Amazon there are 1000 or 10,000 AMIs which are available to public. So this command will take long time because it is going to get detail of all the AMI details about all the available AMIs. But the best way, because when you're working in company, you choose your custom AMI and you know, okay, this is my AMI, this is the AMI ID of my AMI. Then you choose your own AMI. Does that make sense? Yeah, now share me your doubts. What doubts you have? Man, you have to do practice. Huh? Make sure you watch the session which happened yesterday. After that, you re-practice the session which we are doing today. Huh? If you are not learning, then it's something which I cannot help you. If you have doubt, then I can help you to clear those doubts. Huh? Okay, now you know like what is AMI, how we can check detail of AMI, right? So next thing which we are going to do, you know, we talked about security group, right? Security group is basically a firewall group which contains information, which ports are allowed, from which port traffic is allowed, which particular sources are allowed, like these kind of information, right? So now let me quickly display you something about security group. How you can check what is the security group, what is the configuration of security group. So let me pick one security group from here. Okay, if you see this command is still working, this will take long time as I mentioned, because it is going to query all the AMIs available on Amazon. So let me pick one security group. Okay, so this is my security group ID. So let me tell you how you can check security group configuration. I'm pressing Control C. This command will take long time. I'm not sure when it is going to return. Okay, so how you can check security group configuration? For that, AWS EC2 describe dash security groups dash group ID and your group ID, security group ID. Press enter. So today seems my session bit slow because my connectivity also slow, because it is taking long time to return the thing. Okay, so if you see, this is the information about our security group. Let me explain a little bit on the security group. Maybe this is looking a bit difficult for you to read, but I want you to read JSON also. So this is the security group. Here these are the CIDR IPs. This is the description of security group, and if you see, port 80, traffic on port 80 is allowed. It is using TCP protocol. From where traffic allowed? From everywhere. If you see here, it's allowed from everywhere. Then next, traffic is allowed on port 22. From where? From everywhere. So these are the two ports where we allow traffic, and this is the third one. If you watch a video which we the session which we recorded yesterday, I added this custom port. So 22222, even on this one traffic is allowed from everywhere, and this is the fourth port 2222, from where traffic is allowed. This is in JSON format, but if you want it in easy way, like you can put output in a table which is user friendly, to read user friendly, but in scripts you have to use JSON or text format. So let this command finish. Okay, so this is maybe looking nice to you. Okay, this tells, okay, from port 22 IP protocol TCP and traffic is allowed from everywhere. This is on port 80. This is on port 2222. This is on port 2222. So in that way you can check, okay, on particular security group, what is the configuration, from which servers traffic is allowed, from which servers traffic is not allowed. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay, so terminated VM here, terminated mean it's already decommissioned, but you may be wondering why it is appearing here if it is deleted. Because Amazon runs it clearing job after couple of hours. If you see, like after couple of hours this will be gone, but now once you terminate your VM, Amazon will be not charging anything. Even this is displayed. Okay, let's say this is terminated. If I want to power on, I am clicking on action, instance state. If you see, start is not active. If you read that message, it is saying start is not supported for instances that are in following states terminated. It means we cannot power off this instance. You got my point? So it's already decommissioned. It will automatically get clear from here after a couple of minutes. Now next thing which we are going to do. So let's get instance IDs of all the instances which we have. AWS EC2 describe. You have to remember command is. If you run command, if you learn command for one service, you will be comfortable with all, because command names are almost same. Describe instances. I am pressing enter and I am taking output in text. I want to show you how we can manage the instance states. Means if we have to power on the servers using command line, if we have to power off the server using command line, if we have to terminate a server using command line, because as I mentioned, everything need to be done using command line. So you have to learn how we can do the things command line. So let's pick one server. Let's pick which is running here, which is running state. We have to check for state reservation. With this way, like out, if you see, state is running here for this particular instance, and let me grab its instance ID. This is the instance ID starting with I. Instance ID always start with I dash. In that way you can identify this is, and this is the volume ID. When I am discussing EBS, then we will discuss volume ID. So let me do something. AWS, I am going to stop one instance. AWS EC2, to stop instance, stop dash instances. Okay, then we have to say dash dash instance ID. Which instance we want to stop? This one, because Amazon works with instance ID, so you have to know what is the instance ID. Pressing enter. So now what this command is going to do, it is going to contact Amazon API and going to tell stop this particular instance. Now you have to understand the output. It is saying previous state. Previous state was running, means this instance was running, and state code was 16. 60 mean running. Now what is the next state? Stopping. So right now instance is getting stopped. State code is 64. Let's rerun this command. There is no harm to rerun same command. So now what will happen? Previous state will be stopping and it will display next state now. Let's wait this command to finish. If you see, previous state stopping and still current state stopping, so it means instance is getting stopped. So let's wait for 1 minute and it will automatically get stopped. So in this way you can stop your instance. Stop means power off. Okay, now if you see state, what is state? Stopped. So it means our instance is powered off now. If you have to power on this instance, how you can power on? To power on, only thing you have to say start here. So that's very easy. If you learn about one service, you will learn all the services quickly. Command line is easy than graphical. So now if you see state is pending, because when you power on your instance, first state is pending. Pending mean instance initialization started. Then next state is running. Running mean your instance is powered on. Okay. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. Instance would be running. And because right now I'm using public way to connect, because I'm using internet to connect to Amazon instance and public IP. So what happens whenever my instance boots, it will get a different public IP. Are you getting my point? Yeah, because in enterprise companies, what happens? Companies use their own VPC, their own IP range, and they go direct connectivity with Amazon. In my case, I am connecting through internet. So every time, not every time, it's not like right thing every time, but maximum time Amazon will give me new public IP to connect. Okay, because I'm using their normal instances. I'm not using my own VPC. So let's check what is the state now. If you see, state is running now. It means my instance is started. How you can check what is the public IP of your instance? Right, AWS EC2 describe instances dash dash instance ID, and instance ID press enter. So see, I made mistake. If you see my command, I said describe instance, but actual command is describe instances. So if you see, Amazon told us, okay, you have to type Amazon instances or describe instance status. So it will give us hint, okay, maybe you have to type this command. Okay, so this is output in JSON format. So better you learn JSON format because that's more user friendly. But some people like table format. That's up to you which output type you want to use. If you see, this is the public IP now. Okay, because they have changed our public IP. So let's try to connect to this server. If you see, previously it was ending with 92. Now IP is changed. Let me put my new IP. This is new IP with 192. So saying yes. If you see, we are connected to server. So this is the way we can launch our instances and how we can manage the state. So what we learned today? What are the main things which we need to consider when creating instance? Because every component is important. Because when creating instance for first time, I have missed my key pair, and that's the reason I was not able to connect to my instance. Again, that's a lesson for us, right? Everything is important. Then we have learned how to connect to EC2 instance. Now we have learned how to describe instance, mean how to get detail about instance using graphical or command line way. And after that we have learned what are the three different formats of output in command line. First is table, like everything is in table format. Second is text, all the information is displayed in text format. Third is JSON, JSON which is default, JSON. So this is the JSON which is on my screen, this is JSON. So there are three. Now let's do one thing, let's terminate one instance. How we can terminate instance? That's again easy, that's not difficult because CLI is very simple. If you remember the command which we run, start instance, stop instance, so here we have to say terminate, that's it. Okay, now to make it easy, what are the three states? What are the three main states? One is running, one is stopped, terminated. So we are terminating. If you see, command is simple, right? So this instance will get terminated, mean decommissioned. And when you decommission your server, Amazon will not charge you anything for your instance. There are other couple of things which I want to tell. Do you know when Arvind is going to join? Because I got a couple of other things which I want to tell, how you can check status of your underlying server, or those things I can discuss in next session, I believe, in tips and tricks, what you can do. Because with this one, I will finish EC2, and I'm thinking to start EBS, which is a storage section. So do one thing, have a thorough watch of the videos which we recorded yesterday. Whatever your doubt, tell me, okay, these are my doubts, then I will work with you to clear your doubts. Okay? Can you listen me? Yeah. Okay, so one thing which I want to tell, if I have to check console of this server, like what is happening to this particular instance, how can I check? Because this is getting terminated, I don't think I can get console now. You getting my point? Because it is getting decommissioned. But let me try. Yeah, so this is on console. If you see, instance is terminated, it is in power down state. Okay, so this is the console output. What happened? First instance got powered off, then automatically now Amazon will terminate. So these are the outputs which are on console. Let me share the command which you can use to monitor the console. Okay, I missed to copy paste the command. Let me copy the command again. So how it looks to you, command line, Raghu? It's easy, right? It's same as Power CLI, but only thing you have to learn basic concepts, and you guys are comfortable. Even I found Arvind was good. He was quickly able to grasp the thing, and similar for you. So now you have to do practice. Then that practice will make Arvind and Raghav perfect. Okay. So now you can tell me what you want me to do on EC2 service. I can do the couple of things for you on EC2 if you want to know how you can change the things. Okay, let me show you something, how you can change your instance type. For example, let's say you have created one instance. This is our instance which is running. I'm I believe, let me refresh, we have decommissioned one server. Okay, if you see, these two instances are terminated, right? First and second, it means we cannot do anything, they are already decommissioned. The third instance, which is in stopped state, stopped mean it is powered off. What is the existing instance type? That is T2 micro, right? Let's say we want to change its instance type, we want to go with higher instance. I have selected this instance, click on action, then instance settings, then click on change instance type. So here it is giving us options which instance type you want to choose. So there are multiple instance types. You can choose like different instance types. Like it is flickering on my screen, not sure if you can see here, it is giving multiple instance type options which are coming. So you can select that instance type option. Okay, like you can scroll, if you see, I can select M4 large, M4 2x large, and you can get all the information. When you click apply, no, not on the fly. You have to power off your instance. Your instance need to be powered off. What it mean, Arvind? Sorry, Raghav. When you change instance type, it will get resources as per your instance type. Let's say you choose C3 to X large. If it got 100 CPU or 500 GB RAM, then instance will boot from different hardware with the new configuration. Your operating system will be there, like there will be no change into your operating system. All the configuration, all the data will be there. Only thing, you will get more compute power, more capacity. And click on apply. Once you click apply, it will change your instance type. I am not changing because Amazon charges for it, but in practice, if you have to do, your instance need to be stop state. You cannot do it in online on running state. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, no. Operating system type will not change because you are just changing your hardware. So your operating system will still remain same. For example, if I am on Windows 2007, it will be Windows, let's say Windows 2007 Service Pack 1. It will be Windows 2007 Service Pack 1 only. It does not mean if I increase my resources, it will become Windows 2007 Service Pack 2 or Service Pack something. It will, your operating system will be untouched. Whatever your configuration you got, that will remain same. Okay. Yeah, then you can change the things. Yeah, you are right. Because in Linux nothing need to be done. Linux kernel is good. It automatically manages the things. Okay, this is changed. Okay, now I have to do this thing, this thing. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's something you can, if you're managing that inside Windows, you can do that inside Windows. Let me quickly show you. Here, let's say I'm clicking on launch instance and let me select one Windows AMI this time. AMI is the only main thing. By selecting AMI, we are saying, okay, that is going to be Windows or that is going to be Linux. Let's say I'm going to select AMI 2016 base. Let me see whether that's free one or Amazon is going to charge me. Okay, this is free, yeah, free tier eligible. Let me select it. Here, if you see, these are the combinations which are available. I can choose these many CPUs, this much RAM. Okay. So if I choose this one, i2 8x large, it got 32 CPUs, 244 GB RAM, and 8 into 800 GB SSD drives. What it mean? Even after that, I can attach more storage, but this is the default storage which will automatically come with this instance. Okay, and this is local storage. I will come to in detail when I'm discussing Amazon storage, what is local storage, what is EBS, what is the difference between these things. But for now, like with this one, I can get these per much capacity. If I click next configure instance detail, so you can think like whatever your appropriate instance type, you choose that instance type. Again, I will click add storage, click next, and let me click add storage for give you demo. Okay, if you see, it is giving me options because these are the 8 drives which are by default attached. XVDCA, XVDCB, they will be appearing as drive. Let's say after this even I want to add one another volume. Every drive is 800 GB. I can click on add volume and I can say, okay, this volume need to be, let's say I'm saying 1000 GB. Or sorry, I typed 10,000 GB. Let's say I want to say 1000 GB. After that again I can add one more drive. So whatever storage you want you can attach. After 8 into 800 GB drive, these are the other options. Then if you click review and launch, it will create your instance and it will automatically allocate this much storage. So that's the way Amazon work. Huh? But Amazon is not going to do this for free. For storage, whatever the free tier limit, that you can use, but whatever you are choosing beyond free tier, Amazon is going to charge you money for that accordingly. Is that clear? Okay. You know how to change host name in Linux? Yeah, that's good. So this is something which I thought to discuss in session today, and tomorrow we are going to discuss EBS. Huh? So EBS is storage. So one thing, if you want, I can quickly take you through on couple of things, because still we have 20-30 minutes. We can discuss couple of things. You know whether Arvind is going to join or not?